The battalions shouted hurrah and vive l'empereur. Times of conflict are, sadly, cyclical in nature, and to see the past is to make observations about the future. That is why today I will be reading Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace, translated by Constance Garnett. This selection is from pages 465 to 464 to 465, and follows the perspective of our protagonist Rostov, as the leaders of warring nations meet. In the public square towards which the Tsar rode there stood, facing each other, the battalion of the Preobrazhensky Regiment on the right, and the battalion of the French Guards in bearskin caps on the left. While the Emperor was riding up to one flank of the battalions, who presented arms, another crowd of horsemen was galloping up to the opposite flank, and at the head of them Rostov recognized Napoleon. That figure could be no one else. He galloped up, wearing a little hat, the ribbon of Saint Andre across his shoulder, and a blue uniform open over a white vest. He was riding a gray Arab horse of extremely fine breed with a crimson, gold-embroidered saddlecloth. Riding up to Alexander, he raised his hat, and at that moment Rostov, with his cavalryman's eye, could not help but noticing that Napoleon had a bad and uncertain seat on horseback. The battalions shouted hurrah and vive l'empereur. Napoleon said something to Alexander. Both emperors dismounted from their horses and took each other by the hands. Napoleon's face wore an unpleasantly hypocritical smile. Alexander was saying something to him with a cordial expression. In spite of the kicking of the horses of the French gendarmes who were keeping back the crowd, Rostov watched every movement of the Emperor Alexander and of Bonaparte, and never took his eyes off them. What struck him as something unexpected and strange was that Alexander behaved as though Bonaparte were his equal, and that Bonaparte in his manner to the Russian Tsar seemed perfectly at ease, as though this equal and intimate relation with a monarch were something natural and customary with him. Alexander and Napoleon, with a long tail of suite, moved towards the right flank of the Preobrazhensky battalion, close up to the crowd which was standing there. The crowd found itself unexpectedly so close to the emperors that Rostov, who stood in the front part of it, began to be afraid he might be recognized. "Sire, I ask your permission to give the Legion of Honor to the bravest of your soldiers," said a harsh, precise voice, fully articulating every letter. It was little Bonaparte speaking, looking up straight into Alexander's eyes. Alexander listened attentively to what was said to him, and bending his head, he smiled amiably. "To whom who bore himself most valiantly in this last war," added Napoleon, emphasizing each syllable, and with an assurance and composure revolting to Rostov, scanning the crowds of Russian soldiers drawn up before him, all presenting arms, and all gazing immovably at the face of their own emperor. Thank you.